Okay, we are starting the lollipop mold video, and what John Kurth, our teaching assistant, is doing right now is breaking up the ingredient sorbitol. The lollipops are basically only going to have about 4 ingredients. Sorbitol is the main one, and he is weighing enough for 6 lollipops, each with a blank weight of 8 grams. And then what is subtracted from that 8 grams is the other ingredients, the stevia side, and that's in the green tub there. And we also have talc, which will substitute for the tetracaine. So up here on the board is what we have is 8 grams of each lollipop minus 0.01 gram the weight of the stevia side per lollipop, and 0.5 mLs of the flavoring per lollipop, and I just had 0.50 so I could do the math, which is equal to 7.49 grams of sorbitol. Multiply that times 6 because you'll be making 6 lollipops, so you'll weigh a total of 44.94 grams of sorbitol if we do not use talc as the substitute for tetracaine. So what we've done is sprayed the mold with generic PAM here, vegetable oil spray. We're going to have to be careful not to spray this on each other or be inhaling it too much. You can see that there are 6 circles on here. Those are where the lollipops would go. Try to localize the spray there. What you will do is spray the first 3 and then let it drain onto a paper towel in a way that it will not drain onto the stick. So you'll be draining it onto a paper towel that way. And then once you've drained that, you will do the other 3 and spray each one of those and repeat that same process. So John has placed the sorbitol into a 400 ml beaker. Now, what we could have done was tear the beaker and weigh the sorbitol in the beaker itself. Okay, so according to the instructions from PCCA, we are going to melt and heat the base at a medium heat, setting 3 or 4, and stir with the glass stirring rod. So we will not be using a stir bar with this. We're going to make sure the melt is free of lumps, and we are going to wait until the base is half melted before stirring and do not allow to boil. So John is setting the heat to about a 4, and as you can see, we have the clothespin set up with the thermometer, and it is going to be set on degrees centigrade, so we'll be watching that temperature. So right now John is actually weighing the stevia, and we are not going to be triturating it for this video with the lactose or the generic tetracaine, just so that we can provide this video to you in a timely manner. And we are waiting for the sorbitol to be half melted before we begin stirring with the glass stirring rod. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. We've been doing other things during this time. You can see that we've got a little melt going on at the bottom, and what we want is about half melted, and then we can start stirring with the glass stirring rod. Okay, so now we're at about half melt, and John is now going to begin to stir. And we do want the final melted amount to be lump free, so he's going to work on that. So you can actually hold the thermometer, hold the clip and stir at the same time. Make sure that it's well mixed, and as soon as it's completely melted, we're going to remove it from the heat and allow it to cool. Okay, so John is holding the thermometer kind of out of the way a little bit. Notice that the sorbitol is lumpy, but we are going to be making sure that it is lump free, and as soon as it's melted, we will remove it. So John, at about 11:30 I'm going to have to go. So hopefully this will be done. Let's go to the next. What does it say? What to do next?
To shiv or skid.
Sieve.
Shiv. I'm gonna shiv.
Oh, sieve.
Sieve. Yeah, no, right. That. Once you let it cool to 90 degrees.
I found an easy way to clean these sieves. It's just water. You just let it soak and let it gel up. Kind of look like hand sanitizer.
Oh, really?
You know, the carbomer is thickening even. Then I just take a brush and clean all that stuff off. So I'll get you a nicer sieve. We've been shipping, John. So next week, you can, one of the things that you could do is go around and set up the plastic bins so that they contain the ingredients or the things that we need.
For VIP day?
Yeah.
Then probably put away all the
for
ordinary.
that too, for VIP too, but also, that's actually gonna have to be.
Well, that's what I was saying. If you're gonna have lab next week, right?
Right, so we're gonna have set up for the lab first, and then maybe Thursday night we can,
I'll have to check. I don't think. Yeah, I might be able to. Because what time's that class till 5?
on Thursday.
Yeah. But we have, it's like our skills lab, but we have like assessments and stuff, so I might be done early. I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I'll have to look at the schedule.
Let me know when you're done, and so I'm looking for, so Civ is the next step, right?
Yeah, and I think this is pretty, let me double check on the corners.
Okay, so, gosh, I know I have sieves. Just here they are, Laura. See how beautiful these are? And that's just with water and a little brush.
Oh, wow.
Okay. Oh no, I've been recording this whole time? Well, if you've been listening to us, great. If I can edit this out, that'd be even greater. But you probably should just fast forward. So we're at the point now where it looks like everything is melted and it is lump free. So John is going to remove this from the hot plate and put it on the ointment tile, and now we're going to allow it to cool to 90 degrees centigrade or Celsius and is a pourable consistency. So once the we're on actually step 6 right now, so we're waiting for that to cool. We're getting the sifter ready, and we are going to sift the dry ingredients, which right now is just the stevia glycosides, into the mixture once it hits 90 degrees. You can use the glass stirring rod to mix that. If you need to, you can use the rubber spatula to help push the stevia or any other dry powders that it's mixed with into the mixture. So the thermometer shows about 83 degrees, so we're actually past 90 degrees, so we're going to sift the ingredients in. So John is sifting this in. As you can see, it's a very small amount. And you can just tap it or push it using the rubber spatula. Until it's all been sifted. And now he'll mix that until it's homogeneous. So, you know, just you want to continuously stir in one direction. And just think about when you're mixing some kind of cookie batter, you want that small amount of ingredient to be distributed all the way through. So mix it for about a minute. And then when you're done with that, we are going to add the flavoring and also mix that in. Okay, so we have actually poured 3 mLs into a cup, and we've measured 3 mLs. You might have bigger syringes than this. And we have added it, and John will now stir this in. And then as soon as we're done stirring and making sure it's a nice even color, we will pour the mixture into the mold. So this looks pretty pourable. It's thick. The directions state that if it becomes too thick to pour into the mold, that you can reheat the mixture to 90 degrees on your hot plate. So we noticed that there is a little bit of white in color on the sides here, so we're remelting it to make sure that we've got a homogeneous mixture, however you want to say it. And we're going to make sure that it is nice and pourable. And then, so while John's doing that, I'm going to show you that here's the prepared mold, and we're going to have our black spatula. We do not want to be using the Rubbermaid spatula because this will obviously get stained by this color. So do not use this Rubbermaid spatula to scrape any excess off the sides. So when John's ready to pour, we're going to scrape the black with using the black spatula into here. And you just want to pour into here, and then when we're done pouring, we're going to insert a lollipop stick into the sucker, so that the lollipop, so that it will harden and we'll let them sit overnight. Okay, John is pouring now. All right, so we're going to do this 6 times. So as you can see, there's a little bit excess in this second one. So we calculated for 6. We are only going to probably get 3, and that's how many we'll be making today. So John is putting the lollipop sticks into the suckers. That center one is probably a little bit too overfilled, but it thickened too quickly. So remember that you can reheat this up to make it pourable. You can heat it back up to 90 degrees and make it more pourable. And it's already started to set up, but hopefully this video has provided you with a good idea of the steps that need to be taken to make the mold, and we'll have fun doing it. See you soon.